The following production is brought to you by the Talkin' Buds Leaf Show.
Talkin' Buds Leaf Show, Game 3 post-game edition. I thought Sheldon Keefe put it best at the end of that game when he said, if you look over the last number of years, we've lost that game. And I don't know about you, I was paralyzed watching that overtime. I was sitting watching it with my wife, and she's like, are you good? Like, because I was literally sitting there just stoic, just watching it like this.
Yeah, I was pretty rock bottom watching that hockey game. I'm not going to lie. I was very upset. I couldn't believe how good the Tampa Bay Lightning looked. I couldn't believe how bad they were getting hemmed in. I couldn't believe the tight checking the Tampa Bay Lightning. Like, I've never seen a hockey team just be harder on pucks, give you no time and space, manipulate the hockey game, capitalize on their chances. Like, you can really see why this team has been to 3 Cup finals. Like, holy shit, they're a great hockey team. And I'm just watching that game saying, like, they maybe they're just not good enough to beat this team. Like, this team is damn good. They are just unbelievable at eliminating all time and space on the ice. And I'm still in shock that they won that hockey game. I'm in shock.
We sat here all year and said, you know, when it comes to the postseason, who's going to score the big goal? And with all due respect to John Tavares, I watched that hockey game last night and I said, he may not have the letter on his jersey, but Ryan O'Reilly is the captain of this hockey team. I thought for the most part last night, the star players struggled because Tampa was so dominant. I thought the Leafs had a really good first period, and then second period particularly, the third period, and then overtime as well. It was just all Tampa for the rest of the night. But I hope that these core guys on the team, whose confidence is clearly so fragile in a playoff situation, look down the bench at a guy like Ryan O'Reilly and go, like, that right there is how you win in the playoffs. That's how you play. That's how you carry yourself. That guy is in on everything. He is their best two-way centerman that they have. He's a leader. He's in scrums. He scores big goals. He wins a face-off for the overtime winner. It's just, I can't say enough about Ryan O'Reilly. Can't say enough.
I don't even think he played that well, to be honest with you, but he came up big in big moments, and it doesn't matter how well you play through 60 minutes. This team's problem is they don't have players who come up big in big moments, and I don't care if his line got hemmed in for 2 straight periods as well. His line wasn't great, but it doesn't matter. All that matters is you come up big in big moments. That's something this franchise hasn't had in this run, and that's exactly what he did. And Kyle Dubas must be just a very happy boy, being like, I'm happy I went out and picked up this guy, because at least for game 3 and even the other 2 games he played well, it's vindication for Kyle for sure.
Did you see the video of him yerping with the Lightning fans?
Yeah.
During the Stamkos-Matthews brawl? This has turned into quite the heated rivalry. Let's talk a little bit about Luke Schenn. I cannot believe that there are still people on Twitter this morning, at least what I see, disputing this guy's value and importance in the lineup.
It's an absolute joke.
He was
unbelievable.
It was his best game since returning to the Leafs, but he just does little things like during the brawl in the third period, guys on the Lightning bench are going at the Leafs, and he just skates over and sort of intercepts and is like you want to talk to somebody, talk to me. He's just,
it wasn't even that kind of stuff, because I expect that from him. It was just how well he played.
Yes.
When he got traded here, I said he was an AHL defenseman. He looked like the furthest thing from an AHL defenseman last night, and anybody who is still on him saying he shouldn't be in this lineup, like, come on, like, that's just a outrageously awful take. He was He was out. I thought he was their best player through and through from start to finish. I thought he was the best player wearing a Maple Leaf sweater last night by a mile. Like, I thought he was that good.
Why is that your opinion? Like, what did you see?
It's just plate. Like, it wasn't even, because when you watch him play hockey, it's like he's got a lack of speed. There's no doubt about it. He's not really a guy you trust making a breakout pass all the time, because he is a little slow. But I just thought overall, the passes he made, the decisions he made, whether it was off the glass or an outlet pass or just separating the man from the puck. Like, I mean, he's still at the bottom of ice time for defensemen, but I thought that the 20 minutes he logged were just phenomenal. Just outstanding hockey by him. He was great.
And pairing him, there's a lot of people who raised an eyebrow at the pairing of Rielly and Schenn, but it's actually worked out really well, because Schenn, being sort of a stable force back there, has allowed Rielly to freewheel a little more and get up into the offensive zone, and he gets the OT winner last night. And I can't state enough, man. I was sitting watching that, like, just emotionless. We just going into OT, and I'm like, this is it. Like, we're like, get ready, heartbreak coming. We're gonna pot one here. And Ilya Samsonov, you texted me after the first period and said Samsonov's going to cost them this game.
Yep.
You were not the only person that had that opinion. There were a lot of people on Twitter who were like, we got to have Sammy on a short leash, and he settled in with a 39 save performance. And
that first goal he gave up was awful.
Yeah.
Like, that was terrible. Like, just the way he couldn't decide if he wanted to go to the butterfly or stand up. He looked brutal on that. The second goal, he couldn't. He put it in his own net, basically, because he couldn't cover the puck properly. And they played well in the first. So what ended up happening in the game was the total opposite in the first period, where I thought they played well in the first period. I thought getting out to 2 leads right away, it's like, this is what we're looking for. Start on time. That's what we've been saying, and they did. And then he just kind of gave up 2 crappy goals. So that's why I just texted you, being like, I don't like the way this is going, because I think they're playing well, and I don't want him giving up another bad goal, like, or just not looking comfortable. He just didn't look comfortable, and it's just made me really nervous. And boy, did that script flipped immediately. Like, just total opposite. Team was awful, and the guy kept him in the game.
yeah, he came out to start the second and was essentially a completely different goaltender from what he was in the first.
They got absolutely
dominated,
destroyed.
Yeah,
like I'm still in shock, because they just got absolutely outplayed.
Yes.
Dominated.
Yes.
They couldn't spend more than 10 seconds in the Lightning zone.
No,
like,
and
literally.
the Lightning, like, their cycle in the offensive zone was just relentless. It was
it was nonstop.
Yeah, it
was shocking. And just the way, like, the Tampa Bay Lightning are so good at manipulating a playoff game. Like, the way the whole Rielly hit went down. I don't know if you want to get into
Keefe,
that.
Yeah, 100%. Did you see Sheldon Keefe, what he said after the game?
Well, yeah, exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, he said exactly that. He's like, they know they're going to the penalty box. They know they're not going to get a second penalty. So Stamkos grabs Matthews and starts punching him and wrestles him to the ice, and they take O'Reilly and Matthews to the box with them. It's textbook. The Tampa Bay Lightning, they have decided as a group, we're going to start running around on this team if we need to. Like, and they're all bought into it. When Steve Stamkos goes over and just starts wailing on Austin Matthews, who's just standing there cleaning up sticks, that tells me that they, as a team, have bought in. Like, they've all sat around in that room and said, if something is not going our way, or if we see an opportunity, we're going to lean on this team.
That was a penalty. Like, I texted that in the moment. I'm like, I know Rielly was not going to get a penalty for that, because I'm sorry, that was not a penalty. And if it was a 5-minute, or he got any sort of, like, serious discipline on that, I was about ready to throw the biggest spaz of my career.
Can I just interject for 1 second? I agree with you. There are a lot of Tampa Bay fans this morning complaining about the officials. And I would just like to look into this camera and at all of you who commented last year about us whining about the Justin Holl pick penalty and saying, don't blame the refs. Classic Leaf fan blaming the refs. It's like, it wasn't a penalty. And then Point gets up and milks it really good. Like he gets up. That was an Oscar-worthy performance by Braden Point.
Yeah, I know it's a scary play going into the boards hard.
Oh, he
but
was
like,
fine.
That was
He's
the lead.
fine.
Like there were just two guys just kind of initiating contact going into the boards, which something that happens almost every shift in the NHL. It's just unfortunate that he lost his balance and fell in, and just the way that. Because coming out of that, you kind of knew that the Leafs were getting a power play. And just the way Stamkos had the peace of mind to just be like, all right, I'm taking one of the best guys with me then, because I don't really care. Like it was, they are so smart in like just recognizing that in the moment as fast as everything was happening. Like they're a smart hockey team. Like they know what's going on. They know how to manipulate the game. And I totally agree. It was pure manipulation. The Leafs go on the power play, which by the way, that power play was the worst 2-minute power play I've seen all season. And you got 3 of your top guys on your power play in the box for nothing, basically. Because Tampa's smart and they knew what they were doing.
Do you think the Leafs were bad last night, or was Tampa just next level good?
I thought Tampa was next level.
I'm with you. Like, was it the Leafs' best game? No, but I thought Tampa was at all four lines for Tampa were rolling, and Victor Hedman not even at 100%. What is he? 50%, 60%. Victor Hedman is such a difference maker.
Sergachev was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's just, that's why when I was watching it, I was getting so pissed off and discouraged, because it's like, I don't think when the Leafs are at their best can do this, can do what the Lightning were doing to the Leafs during that game. Like just full domination through all 3 zones. Like it was ridiculous. And then somehow, some way, I don't think I've ever been more shocked in my entire life when they tied that hockey game. I don't think I've ever been, like, I'm trying to think any time in my life I've been more surprised. I don't even know what to say, how to react, what to feel. I was in shock.
That's why you went and got a Ryan O'Reilly, man, for those game-breaking moments. And it's just, it's so, we've sat here for the last 6-7 years waiting for somebody to play a playoff style, as they say, and to do all the right things necessary to win in the playoffs. And it's so nice watching this guy play hockey. He's man, oh man, oh man. He is, I can't say, look, I'm glowing about him. I'm sitting here literally glowing about the man. He's a leader. He's such, like, I'm sorry. Like, John may have the letter on his
John Tavares was epically awful.
Yeah, like
-3, epically awful, non-factor, slow as molasses. He was awful.
He might have the C on his jersey, but at this moment in time, with the way this team is mentally in the postseason, Ryan O'Reilly is the captain of this hockey team, and you can't tell me otherwise. Sorry.
It's just funny how the 2 best players for them last night was Schenn and O'Reilly.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
It's hilarious.
And Samsonov. Those are the 3 best players for them last night.
Yeah, like it was just. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like it really is. Like just I can't like I mean at the end of the day it is one game. Like there's still a lot of series left to play here, but it was just saying what everyone else has been saying. That's a game you've seen them lose 1,000 times, and somehow I can't believe they won that game. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. Like it was shocking.
There's a lot of talk this morning about the Leafs exploiting a weakness in Andrei Vasilevsky, sort of high blocker side. They've scored a lot of their goals against him, and
the Leafs didn't lose the series last year because of Andrei Vasilevsky.
He played really well in Game 7.
They showed the stat last night. The Leafs scored more goals in that series last year than the Lightning did. They just lost the series, but I'm not like. It's not something I know they can score on this goalie. It's something I'm not going into every game. Like Carey Price scared me more than Vasilevsky.
Knock on wood right now.
Like, yeah, he's a damn good goalie. He's won cups. Like he wins series.
I'm gonna knock on wood for you.
You look at his elimination game record. It's ridiculous. But it's like it's not something I'm shitting my pants over before the game, before the puck drops. Like,
what'd you think of Matthew Nyes? I thought he was good. I thought he made a couple rookie mistakes on his blue line in particular. He's got to move that puck out of his own zone, man. There were a couple times where it it would get on his stick on the Leafs blue line, and he'd try to look for some sort of like pretty pass or try to spin around a guy who was trying to check him. And it's like, no, Matt, down the ice. But again, I love that line after game 2, and I love them.
Well, he was rotating him last night. He was sometimes Kerfoot went down, who was also just awful last night. But he had him on the third line, and they moved Nyes up with Matthews a couple times, and even with Nylander and Tavares. He needs to make quicker decisions with the puck, but damn, does he have poise with the puck in the offensive zone? Like he's gonna make things happen. That's the easiest early sign to see with Matthew Nyes. It's just this guy's gonna make things happen in the offensive zone when he has the puck, because he's done it in this series so far.
So we're heading to game 4. If you're Sheldon Keefe, what are you saying? Like, I'm sure there's lots of film study going on today about just how they were utterly dominated by Tampa for periods 2, 3, and overtime. But it's like everybody needs to be aware of where they are on the ice and where their guy is, because I saw a lot of that last night too. A lot of blowing the zone, and the Lightning were just first on pucks, winning puck battles. It's just everybody needs to be aware of where their guy is. Everybody needs to be in position. Like, if I can just gush about Ryan O'Reilly one more time, the thing that makes him so good to watch is he doesn't cheat. And this is a team with its superstars in the past that has tried to play regular season hockey during the playoffs, and you can't do that. You cannot cheat. You cannot blow your assignment. You cannot be caught out of position. You have to finish every check. Like, every single detail matters.
I don't think Sheldon Keefe is even a factor in this series anymore, other than quote unquote matching lines. Like, it's just all these guys need to take that win, go get in the dressing room before game 4, all look each other in the eye and be like, we let's do this. Like, we got to be better. We got to play better. But now we know that they can throw their best shot and we can counter and still win a hockey game. That's a big thing for this team. That's a big thing for their psyche. I mean, they could go out and get absolutely pumped, and then it's just all back square anyways. But that's a game that you can build on, because you don't win those hockey games ever, and you just did. You got dominated. One thing I will say that's glaringly obvious in this series, I know Tampa is down defensemen, and their quote-unquote D-core isn't very good, but I think the Leafs I mean, it's kind of unfair because they get hemmed in, but like, I thought Paul, Giordano, like, they just look slow. Yeah. They can't move the puck quick enough. I thought TJ Brody, I know he played 1,000 minutes last night, but I think he's struggling. McCabe sometimes makes the odd bad pass. Morgan Rielly commits too much. Like, sometimes the Leafs D-core, I just don't know. If you look at like the Bruins D-core, like, it's just ridiculously good. The Leafs D-core looks a little slow and a little behind the 8 ball. I will say that.
Would you consider adding Liljegren into the mix?
No, that ship's gone. This guy can't enter this.
Okay, all right.
At least Giordano is a veteran, and he's already shown that he's not afraid to mix it up. And I don't think you change anything at this point. I mean, they're gonna have to make the decision on Bunting when he comes back, but what's the point of taking a guy to the lineup for Liljegren? Like, what's he gonna do?
Well, I guess it's just a different, like, he's a good puck mover.
Yeah.
And so it's a guy that brings a different look. Like, if you bring Hall out, who's the obvious guy, and let Liljegren play on that last
never
gonna
do that. They're
never
gonna do that.
Well, Sheldon Keefe. Yeah, Sheldon
The only
Keefe.
guy who was ever gonna get out of this lineup was Luke Schenn, and that is not happening anymore.
No,
Absolutely
never happening.
not. This series is completely different if that guy's not in the lineup.
It sounds like I'm making excuses for him, but I just have such a hard time believing TJ Brody is fully healthy. Like, there's a couple shifts where he is just getting flat out beat, and that never happens. He's always, since he's got here, he's been their most stable top defenseman, and I just cannot believe that he's 100% healthy.
There's a lot of people listening to this right now being like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He's been great. I personally have never.
I don't think he's been awful, but he's getting beat in uncharacteristic TJ Brody manner, which is why I'm convinced that he's not 100% healthy.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, it's pretty hard to, like, as someone who has played defense before, if you're just getting absolutely forechecked, and like there's always so much you can do when you have limited time and space, even in your own end when you're trying to make a breakout pass. Like just overall, forwards and defense, they just need to be faster making decisions with the puck and being in better position because, I mean, they counter Tampa's best shot, but I don't know how many times he could do that. They can't get hemmed in like that.
No, so like I said, I'm sure there's a lot of film being watched today in Tampa, and they'll be back Monday for Game 4, and we will be back Monday immediately following Game 4. So if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button below. If you're listening to the audio version, do the same. Little comment, little review. I saw a few new comments on Apple Podcasts. Really appreciate that.
Spread the word. Tell your friends.
We really appreciate it. We will see you guys after Game 4.